Okay, so for this weekend, we're going to try out camping in a Arctic oven igloo tent. We have rented a Arctic oven igloo tent from a nearby rental service here in Anchorage, and the plan is to kind of give it a try out in the backyard first, and then from the backyard we will take it to, haven't really decided yet, it's either going to be Eklutna or it's going to be Seward, but either way we're going to give it a shot this weekend actually out in the open. So for now what I'm doing is setting it up in the backyard. I just want to make sure that I'm comfortable with the setup, and then once I'm comfortable with the setup here, once again in the backyard, how to use it, yada yada yada, then we'll take it to most likely Eklutna Lake. Sure that there's still good winter camping there, but also we could take it to Seward, because that's only a 2-hour drive. The question is with Seward, or what are the conditions down there? So yeah, this is simply a backyard trial, and so I actually already had a pretty good space here cleared out for the backyard, just because I've been maintaining the backyard pretty well with my Quincy that I built, which is now melted. An igloo that I built, which is also now melted. Luna, don't you pee or poop on that. Don't even think about it, puppy. And then this is the original Quincy over here. So there's been a lot of backyard maintenance this year. This will be the last backyard adventure, and then we're going to take this thing into the outdoors, you know, out of Anchorage tomorrow night, hopefully, and have more of an adventure with this. So for now, I'm just going to film setting it up, and then I'll film setting it up tomorrow again after we decide where we're going to go. So yeah. Okay, so the tent's assembled. I think what takes the most time is clearing out the space for the tent. Really requires probably, I don't know, a lot of space. So I'm pretty fortunate to have this already cleared out in my backyard just for this purpose. Pretty easy to set up. I didn't really have to watch a video. It's very self-explanatory. You know, if you set up a tent in the past, then it pretty much is par for par. Sound like fun? Okay. All right, tent is pretty much set up. We're 75% there. Evie, are you comfortable? Are you cozy? He's too into a show. So, trying to get the fire going. This is a tiny little stove. So I got one log in here, and looks like it's going pretty good. But I would like to have a good fire going before we kind of go and eat dinner upstairs, and then sleep out here and prep for tomorrow for wherever we end up going, Eklutna or Seward. Where are we going? Are we going to Seward or Eklutna? She wants to go to Eklutna. So we'll go to Eklutna? So even if we don't end up making it to Eklutna or to Seward, it's been a cozy time out here in the backyard, camping in this thing. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's been a really fun tent to explore. See if everyone thinks it's cozy. This is our setup right now. Watching Stranger Things in here. Hey, are you cozy?
I'm not.
Okay, we're cozy. Got a lantern up there. It's 9 o'clock. Luna's sleeping out here, and we're gonna sleep. We ended up not using the stove or the wood burning heater, and only because it's just not cold enough to use it. So we're using a electric powered space heater right now, which works great. So it's cozy. All right, so it looks like we're staying at Eklutna. Just got here. Still quite a bit of ice out here. This is let's see, April 4th. It's a lot colder here at Eklutna than it is in Anchorage, but this is great camping material, I think, because I don't have to clear out a ground space for the tent. Just kind of like find a place to camp out and then sleep overnight. So I'm gonna drag the tent down here, start setting it up, and see how this is. Looks like there's a fort over there that somebody built. That might be a good place to stay. I know there's a running creek that goes down here, so I'm not going to stay on top of the creek. Sounds like a bad idea, but there is a fort over there. And then there's some space over here that I know is not going to be running water too, so that's not a bad place to stay either. All of this is probably overflow from the lake. Down here on the ground, you can see this is like slippery ice. You could probably stay on the overflow, wouldn't be comfortable, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to find a place with a good chunk of snow, and that looks like my spot. Somewhere over there that I'll stay at.
My body is asleep, my mind is wide awake. It's my fault I'm locked inside. I try to find a way out, I'm clenching both my eyes. Force myself, I'll try and stay alive. But not a sound comes out. I panic now, I'm shutting down. You gotta get something right. Well, I swear it's mine. You frame this crime while I was a dead.
I will say that it helped a lot to set this up in the backyard ahead of time, because I knew what I had to set up in advance, what I could go with, what I could go without, like stakes in certain spots. So really helpful. I think I got this set up in like, I don't know, 25 minutes total this time. And I was a little intimidated because it took so long to set up yesterday, but with a clear ground, I didn't have to clear this ground here, and just knowing what I had to do in advance, it really made it a lot faster to set up. So all I have to do now is start a fire, lay out the bedding, and then enjoy the rest of the night and enjoy Eklutna. So we will do that. I think I forgot my lighter in the car, so I'm gonna go get my lighter. That way I can start a fire. And just kind of take it in, I guess. Pretty cool stuff. I don't think anybody's out here right now. There were 2 to 3 cars in the parking lot, so I know at least a couple of people are out here, but there's a lot of space out here, so you know, they could be, I think there's a cabin over there, cabin 12 miles back out there. For the people that are here, they're probably pretty far away, and this is already about an hour away from Anchorage, so pretty isolated. Pretty cool stuff though. So I'm gonna go with the lighter and then see how peaceful the night goes. We got these on Amazon. If you don't want to carry crampons with you everywhere you go, these things are really nice because you can just like attach them to your shoes without having to do too much work. They're really helpful right now because there's a lot of overflow in the area, and super convenient because crampons and spikes and stuff like that, you kind of got to work to put them on. These things, you just slip them on. You'll see here, there is quite a bit of overflow. I busted my ass at least twice on this stuff. And then I realized, oh yeah, I had these in the glove compartment of my car, so went and grabbed them. Like, this is just nothing but ice right now, which is funny because there's mosquitoes out. But they're Alaskan mosquitoes, and Alaskan mosquitoes don't really care. But anyways, these things work great. Got them on Amazon for myself and for Gabby and for Evelyn, and you can get them all sorts of sizes. They work really well. We also have crampons and spikes and stuff like that, but these are great just to keep in your glove compartment for days like these when you maybe didn't pack all of your gear, but you knew that these are there. So in the glove compartment, just whenever. They work really well, but not as good as crampons, to be fair. Like, I'm still slipping, but I know where to find traction if I have to find traction. All right, got a lighter. Works. Just not right now. Right, it works. There it is. Lighter, bear spray, table, other bear protection. Because bears are awake now. So yeah. Let's get this fire going. Alright. Take the shoes off. Lost some crampons in the ice, looks like. Not crampons, but strap-on thingies. Okay. It's getting dark, so I need to get a lantern in here, looks like. Grab a lantern. It's 9 o'clock. So it is getting dark, but not that dark. But dark in the thingy. The bedding takes the most time to set up. Seems like second to most. Obviously the fire. Camp itself. Okay, here is my strap-on crampon. Fell off. Strap-on crampon. Strap-on spikes. I think that's the appropriate term. Okay. Let's get this fire going. This thing's got a nice little hook up here. Okay. One thing I'd recommend is that bring a hatchet, because obviously this thicker wood is probably easier to burn if it was like cut into smaller bits and pieces, but I don't have a hatchet with me, so I can't do that. I wish I did. It would make things a little bit easier. It takes it a little while to like get up and going because I don't have a hatchet, but it's not impossible. And once it's going, this whole thing is like super hot, so honestly, I could probably get it going one good flame and then fall asleep and anticipate the next day that it's going to be just as warm when I wake up. Nice little table. Bed I'll sleep on. Thermarest Trail Light. This is a backpacking or a bike packing bed. Super light. Not the best in a situation like this. I mean, you know, you're in a huge tent. You could probably pack a lot more comfortable bed, but honestly, I didn't want to deal with a whole lot on the way out here today because I started driving out to Eklutna at 7 p.m. and just wanted to like get everything packed up, good to go. Not have to worry too much about fancy stuff or creature comforts. So I'm using this little backpacking bed for tonight, plus two pretty much cheap REI beds, or sorry, cheap probably Cabela sleeping bags, plus one sleeping pad and two pillows. So should be enough to keep me comfortable, not enough to stay for multiple nights, but you know, if you're going to backpack or bike pack, these should be good for you. All right, and then got a few more things outside I need to bring in. Food. I'm not going to keep the food inside because bears are awake, but I do want to bring some in so I can cook a little bit, and then I'll take the food outside, away from the thing, probably back in my Bronco. Okay, so I got water boiling, fire's going, and the sun is setting, so Should be a pretty comfortable night tonight. We'll see what happens. It's getting dark. I'm actually pretty surprised. What time is it? 9:40. It's getting pretty dark right now, and gonna cook some ramen noodles and then go back to the bed and lay down and just chill out. But yeah, Dragonfly's going. I didn't pressurize it enough this time, but I pressurized it more on the second go, and it's burning pretty fast. So see how this goes. Fire went out overnight, but it didn't take much to get it going again. So got a fire going, and it's warm again. Probably took about 2 to 3 minutes to get it going. Oh, it's also snowing outside too. So I guess it's in that in between weather where it's gonna be raining or snowing, but it's snowing now. All right, it's morning time, and I slept great. I slept pretty good. And honestly, the tent stayed really warm throughout the entire night. I really slept in just one sleeping bag and one pillow, and I would just keep putting little, like, fire logs in this thing, and it kept the thing going throughout the entire night. Maybe like every 2 hours I would have to wake up and put a log in there. But it's still burning and it's still warm. I'm actually really shocked that this was so easy to keep going, because I was afraid that this thing would, with not having split the logs, would be difficult to continuously burn logs throughout the night. But it burned slow. It burned like the entire time. So I'm very, very impressed with this stove and this little fireplace. Burned throughout the entire night and kept me warm, and I probably could have just used a blanket and a pillow and slept out here and not have been cold. But it is also in the 20s and 30s, so it's a little bit warmer than normal. I need to start packing up. It's Easter, so I gotta get home. My daughter's got a Easter basket waiting for her, and she cannot open it until I get there. So I gotta start packing up and see if I can't make it home for Easter. So yeah. Okay, all packed up. Gotta start shipping things to the car. It snowed last night, and woke up and came outside, and it's just a whiteout. This is wild. I can't see the mountains. There's usually mountains here. All along the lake. You can't see nothing. Looks like I was visited. I don't know if these are new prints or not. I might have filmed those last night. Nothing around the tent. No prints around the tent except for me. Yeah, so those are probably old prints then, because even my prints have a little bit of snow on them. Interested in these prints over here, because these don't look human. No, they're human. I think they're human. Yeah, so these are the prints I filmed last night then. Those are what looks like the lone dog or wolf prints, and or coyote, whatever it may be. Wow, though, it's oddly mysterious out here this morning. You can see that my stove is still putting off smoke, so fire's still burning. It's been almost 12 hours, and I only brought 2 bundles of wood, and that just kind of like slowly burned the wood throughout the night. And like I said, I was really expecting 2 bundles to just burn, you know, in a bigger fireplace that would have just burned up like, you know, 3 hours, something like that. But this thing did a great job by burning the wood slowly over time and just keeping you warm. Exactly what I was hoping for in a little tiny stove. That's going to keep you warm in this little tent throughout the night for 12 hours. So it's exactly what I was looking for. Again, 2 bundles of wood. Maybe each of those had 8 logs in them, give or take. So 12 log or 16 logs total, and just burned slowly. And kind of see the sun is rising way behind the fog and the clouds. No auroras last night, no northern lights. It was just way too overcast. All right, gonna go get my sled and start shipping things back to the vehicle. Again, it's Easter, so want to make it home. I have our daughter has an Easter basket that she is not allowed to open until I get back. It's 7:40. It's about an hour drive back. Say if I leave here by 8:30, I'll get back by 9:30. She can open her Easter basket around 10 o'clock. Last night, all of this you could see was all ice, and now it's got a layer of snow, which helps with the traction. Again, these things are still very useful. They don't help, they don't fix everything, but they are easy to pack and easy to just shove in a bag in case you need them, forget about them, remember them, which is exactly what I did. Forget about them and then remember them when you need them. Several months later, I think we bought these in December, and I never used them until now. I don't know what they're called. I'll add a link maybe at the bottom of the YouTube. That sounded hollow. Sounds like there's air in there. Yeah, I'll add a link at the bottom of the video for these things. Super useful. I busted my butt over here last night. At one point, it sounded like there was stuff moving around outside the tent last night, but I don't see any prints, so I think it must have been the snow and my paranoia. The snow was falling pretty, I don't know, heavy at some point. Probably making a lot of noise. This morning is turning out to be really pretty. So now you can see the mountains. It's the campsite over there. Mountains popping up out of the fog. It almost doesn't, it looks like a postcard. It's so pretty. See how fast this thing boils a whole thing of water. Sorry, a whole thing of snow, not water. See how fast it gets this snow melted and boiling so I can make some ramen for the road. It took me a while to get this going. I moved this orientation of this tube to kind of go in the opposite direction because I wanted it to be, I don't know, in the opposite direction, and that actually prevented it from lighting. So this orientation is the correct orientation. Once I moved it back, worked perfectly. So the other thing too is lighters are your limiting factor in the cold. These things do not want to work, so your best bet is probably to get some good old flint, stone, something to make a spark, because that was just, these lighters are a pain in the butt to get going in the cold. It did not take too long. About, I don't know, 15 minutes. So now I'll have some food for the road. And yeah, stove worked great again. So second meal, and by meal I mean ramen. So. Okay, that concludes that little adventure. So it is 9:15. Looks like I'm gonna make it back home by 10:15. So time for Easter. In time for Easter. Yeah, let's say goodbye to Eklutna. And yeah, the morning has turned out really pretty. Gorgeous day. The fog has kind of moved on and kind of shown the mountains now. I'm all packed up. Gotta take this tent and return it to the rental place that I got it from, and enjoy Easter, I guess. So for the next adventure, me and a couple of friends are going to go explore the Dalton Highway and stay at a lodge pretty way up in the highway. I don't know, like 20, 30, 40 miles. Haven't really researched it yet. I'm gonna do that this week. So I'll post that in a little while, but for now, I think this is a pretty fun adventure. Once you get used to setting these things up, they can set up pretty fast and take down too. But you just have to be aware of like how to do it. It's just a little more complicated, a little more involved than a regular tent. You can see where I have the tent. Its footprint, it's melted a little bit of the ice. This is where the fire was at. Some water. So, you know, just be wary of where you set up. Again, this is a little bit of overflow. It's not tons, so I'm not that worried about the exact what would happen if it all broke underneath me. So yeah, beautiful morning. Just one more look at it, and then we're gonna get out of here. It's false alarm. I thought I saw wolves, a pack of 3 wolves over here. There were 3 really large huskies chewing on a stick, and at first glance I thought, oh, there's a small bear, because it was a pretty big husky. And it was pretty far in the distance, and bears are out now, so you have to think about that. And I looked up and I saw this large animal that looked like a small bear, and I was like, oh, there's a bear. Oh no, that's a dog-shaped thing. And then 2 others came out about the same size, started chewing on the same large driftwood branch. And from my first reaction, I thought, oh man, three wolves, like huge wolves chewing on a moose carcass or something. From the distance, that's what it looked like. And that's not what it was. It was 3 huskies, and the owner of the husky walked out of the woods. They were big and they looked just like wolves. I'm telling you, the fur was colored like wolves, and they looked like they were chewing on a moose carcass, but it was a big old branch of driftwood. So yeah, I'll shut up and just enjoy the scenery. All right, well, thank you. Next video will be the Dalton Highway. I'm looking forward to that. See how the conditions are. And yeah, appreciate you watching.